Well, right after I got finished posting my videos, I found out that the Marcy Corrections officers got their verdict. King Solomon would be proud. This is a postscript video, and it looks at the ultimate result of a trial, and it looks at why the jury may have decided the way they did and what to make of it. It's a complete opinion, all my opinion, and that doesn't make it right, it just makes it my opinion. So take it for what it's worth. Let's get started. Before we get started, here is the case in a nutshell. The trial involving 3 former corrections officers from Marcy Correctional Facility in New York is linked to the death of inmate Robert L. Brooks. Brooks died after being transferred to Marcy on December 9, 2024. He was handcuffed and subsequently subjected to a fatal beating, with the autopsy ruling the death a homicide due to the compression of the neck and multiple blunt impact injuries. A number of the correction officers were indicted. In February, 6 were charged with murder and other related offenses in connection with Brooks's death. One of the 6, Christopher Walrath, pleaded guilty in May to first-degree manslaughter and is serving a 15-year sentence. The status of the trial of the 3 officers are Matthew Gallagher, Nicholas Kiefer, and David Kingsley. They face charges including murder and first-degree manslaughter. Closing arguments have already concluded, so that's what this video captures. The prosecution's case emphasizes body cam video evidence capturing the assault and argues that the officers worked as a gang to beat Brooks. The defense argues the Clarence did not deliver the fatal blows, lacked criminal intent, and acted with training in chaotic circumstances. Separately, 4 other officers have pleaded guilty in the broader case beyond these 3 in connection with Brooks's death. Let's listen to the verdicts as they were recorded in court.
Good morning and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I have received your note indicating you have reached a verdict. At this time, the clerk of the court will take your verdict. At first, we'll begin with the verdict as to the people against David Kingsley.
Ms. Foreperson, has the jury agreed upon a verdict in the case of the people of the state against David Kingsley?
We have.
As to count 1, murder in the 2nd degree, what is the jury's verdict?
Guilty.
As to count 2, manslaughter in the 1st degree, what is the jury's verdict?
Guilty.
Members of the jury, the foreperson has announced the following verdicts. Count 1, murder in the 2nd degree, guilty. Count 2, manslaughter in the 1st degree, guilty. Members of the jury, are those your verdicts?
Yes.
If anyone said no just now, please raise your hand. Seeing no hands raised, does either side wish the jury to be polled?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll then proceed with the verdict with respect to the matter of the people against Matthew Gallagher.
Ms. Foreperson, has the jury agreed upon a verdict in the case of the people of the state of New York against Matthew Gallagher?
We have.
As to count 1, murder in the 2nd degree, what is the jury's verdict?
Not guilty.
As to count 2, manslaughter in the 1st degree, what is the jury's verdict?
Not guilty.
As to count 3, gang assault in the 2nd degree, what is the jury's verdict?
Not guilty.
Members of the jury, your foreperson has announced the following verdicts. Count 1, murder in the 2nd degree, not guilty. Count 2, manslaughter in the 1st degree, not guilty. Count 3, gang assault in the 2nd degree, not guilty. Members of the jury, are those your verdicts?
Yes.
If anyone said no just now, will you please raise your hand? Seeing no hands raised, I'll inquire as to whether either side wishes the jury to be polled.
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Very good. We'll then proceed with taking the verdict as to the people against Nicholas Kiefer.
Ms. Foreperson, has the jury agreed upon a verdict in the case of the people of the state of New York against Nicholas Kiefer?
Yeah.
As to count 1, murder in the 2nd degree, what is the jury's verdict?
Not guilty.
As to count 2, manslaughter in the 1st degree, what is the jury's verdict?
Not guilty.
As to count 3, gang assault in the 2nd degree, what is the jury's verdict?
Not guilty.
As to count 4, offering a false instrument for filing in the 1st degree, what is the jury's verdict? Members of the jury, the foreperson have announced the following verdicts. Count 1, murder in the 2nd degree, not guilty. Count 2, manslaughter in the first degree, not guilty. Count 3, gang assault in the second degree, not guilty. Count 4, offering a false instrument for filing in the first degree, not guilty. Members of the jury, are those your verdicts?
Yes.
If anyone says no, will you please raise your hand? Seeing no hands raised, decide the side wishes to repulse this discussion.
No.
Still on the record.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your jury service. On behalf of this community, we ably serve on sincerely. This has been a difficult case for everyone involved. It's evident we put an awful lot of work into it. You have our gratitude. All of the rules you're operating under up to this point are hereby lifted. If you wanted to, you could talk to people about the case and how your services can do it. But you also absolutely understand and not have to do so. You're welcome to speak go back to their lives. And I think they should do so. You are discharged.
Maybe they just needed to go home overnight, over the weekend, and think about it a little bit more. Maybe they came into the courtroom or the jury room this morning fresh and ready to go, and everybody sat down and talked about what they thought about, and for some reason they have decided to split the baby. Now, we haven't seen the evidence in the case, we've only heard the arguments, and based on the argument of counsel for Kingsley, I thought he had a pretty good chance of being acquitted. But apparently the jury didn't see it that way, so obviously they saw evidence and we didn't, so we have to assume that they absolutely got this one right because of what they heard in the courtroom, not so much because of what they heard in the arguments. The other two, however, I think you look at what actually was charged, and I think the jury saw that they had been overcharged. They had this gang thing tacked on, and the other guy had the false statement thing tacked on. And you may recall in the video, the second video that I did regarding the prosecution's close, he made the comment about, the fact that you were ordered to file a false statement doesn't make it less of a crime. Maybe so, but it does make you a lot less culpable than the person who ordered you to do it, who's already taken a plea. So as far as the jury was concerned, I'm sure on that charge, the accountability was already there. This whole gang assault thing was a no-brainer from the beginning. They are not part of a gang, they're just co-workers, and they don't think of themselves that way. They don't think about being a gang going in there to wreak havoc in the jail. They are in there really to protect the weaker prisoners from the stronger ones. It's a difficult job, and I think the jury recognized that. The fact that this is a jury in the community where that prison exists is a strong indication that they understand. They've probably heard the stories from the prison about things that have happened there. So they understand what some of those officers have to go through. As I have mentioned numerous times on the channel, I lived for quite a while in Jefferson City, Missouri. Jefferson City, Missouri used to be the home of the Missouri State Prison, the one big prison in Missouri, which was basically a full security, maximum security penitentiary. And there were stories galore of people and how they escaped, how they went over the wall, how they went under the wall, how they went into the river, which is on the other side of where the prison used to be. Well, shortly after I moved to Jefferson City, they decommissioned that. Somebody had the idea of turning it into a cell and gruel instead of a bed and breakfast, but fortunately that idea never took hold. That has been used for a variety of other things by the state. They built a brand new prison out on the outskirts of town, and even then, stories would filter in about people who got out of prison, came into Jefferson City, and the first thing they did was commit another crime. So I understand a little bit of what had to be going through those jurors' minds as they sat there trying to decide what to do. It looks to me like clearly from the video evidence, David Kingsley did something that he shouldn't have done. And as a result of that, they saw it much differently than counsel saw it. You have to remember, counsel's job is to characterize what they saw. Their job is to decide what they saw and what it means. And it seems to me that that's what they did, and they came to that verdict. Again, I think the other two were simply overcharged. I don't think the jury felt like they had culpability. And to a certain extent, it's splitting the baby because you I don't think the jury would have been willing to let all three of them off. There had to be some accountability, or at least on the jury, I would have felt that somebody had to have some accountability, even if it was that ridiculous false statement charge. But as it is, all three officers got their verdict. Two of them are going to walk away from the courthouse free men, and one of them is going to walk away in chains and go into a state prison, obviously not the one that he served in. So it will be a tough life for him where he's going, because he very obviously is going to get bad treatment from the inmates. He'll have to be in administrative segregation the entire time he's there. And, you know, his poor family is, assuming he has a family, is going to have a hard road to hoe too. But it's hard to feel sorry for someone if they actually were involved in killing another person. There has to be accountability. The jury absolutely did the right thing by reaching a verdict, and I think that they made the appropriate choices. You can feel free to disagree. Please do so in the comments, but remember to do so respectfully. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here today. If you have the opportunity today, try to do one kind thing to help somebody else. Any kind thing will do. Buy somebody a Coke, get them a cup of coffee, anything that makes their day better. That would be a way to help make the world a better place. Because after all, isn't that what we're all after? Now, YouTube has a few things that they think you might be interested in, and they're going to be showing you that right up there.